Court is in session. The People versus God, Part 2. We left off in Isaiah chapter 44 with Cyrus. Cyrus, do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? You do. Cyrus, what had occurred here? Well, the Lord had taken me in verse 28 and made me the shepherd of Israel when I wasn't even looking at this God of Israel. I'm the king, by the way, and I have all these other nations, including Persia and Israel, and they are mine. But God had chosen me to know Him, this obscure God from Israel, above all the other gods. And it says, God says of Cyrus, He is my shepherd, and He will perform all my desire. How did it feel to be to have to follow God's will and perform all of God's desire? Oh, well, it was in my heart too. I mean, when God saved me, that is what I wanted to do, because He worked in me both the will and to do. Okay, so you agreed with this. No, I can't say that I did, because I was rebuked. Or there was a rebuke here. Where is the rebuke? Well, it's here in verse 9 of Isaiah chapter 45. Woe to the one who quarrels with his maker, an earthen vessel among the vessels of the earth. Will the clay say to the potter, what are you doing? Or the thing you are making say, he has no hands? Basically, I had to admit that even though, this obscure God, is of this nation of Israel that's not like all these other gods, I had to bow the knee to God to understand that He is the God of gods, the King of kings, and the Lord of lords. And when I realized this, I realized I had no rights before Him. And, by the way, I was also overjoyed to serve Him because He lavished all these riches on me. Was it because of the riches that you chose God? Well, no, not exactly. He chose me and told me to do all these things, and he didn't, it wasn't about that He bribed me. For it says right here, what does it say? I have aroused him in righteousness, verse 13, and I will make all of his ways smooth, and he will build my city and will let my exiles go free without any payment or reward, says the Lord of hosts. So the Lord of hosts wasn't giving you any money to do this? Although He lavished riches on you? Seems to be a contradiction here. No, not really. Because I'm one of His children, He's lavished these things on me. He wasn't paying me to build the city. I see. So let us take a look at this. Okay. Thus says the Lord to Cyrus. The Lord was speaking to me. And the Lord said, Cyrus is His anointed. Did you choose to be God's anointed? No, I argued back. Whom I have taken by the right hand to subdue nations before Him and to loose the lions of kings. Yes, God made me an instrument to build His temple. As we read, and if you read in Isaiah chapter 45. For the sake of Jacob my servant, according to verse 4. And Israel my chosen one. Chosen one? You mean chosen nation? Yes, Israel my chosen one, but my chosen nation. And I have also called you by your name. Cyrus, you were called by your name? Cyrus, couldn't you have just said, no, I don't wish to be an instrument for God? No, God had made me an instrument for Him. And was that against your will? No, it was my will after He worked His will within me. But, I wouldn't have done this had it not been God working in my heart. I have also called you by your name and given you a title of honor, though you have not known me. Well, He did this with Abraham also, did He not? He chose Abraham and he was following all these false kings. Yes. And I will gird you, though you have not known me, that men may know from the rising of the sun to the setting of the sun that there is no one besides me. So it was to give glory to this obscure God instead of the sun god, Mithras, or Artemis, or any of the gods of Babylon. This God is saying that above all the gods of Egypt and Babylon and the world, this God is the true God, this God of Israelites? Yes, Your Honor. That there is no one besides me. I am the Lord, and there is no other, the one forming light and creating darkness. causing well-being and creating calamity. I am the Lord who does all these things. So the Lord admits to causing calamity. We have no right to speak. As Job said, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Woe to the one who quarrels with his maker, an earthen vessel, among the vessels of the earth. Will the clay say to the potter, what are you doing? Or the thing you are making say, he has no hands? Woe to him who says to a father, what are you begetting? And what else does it say? Verse 12, Isaiah 44:12. It is I who made the earth and created man upon it. I stretched out the heavens with my hand, says the Lord, and I ordained all their hosts. And I have aroused in Cyrus righteousness. Verse 13, I have aroused in him righteousness, and I will make all his ways smooth. This is what was said in the beginning of the chapter, and this is what God says about Cyrus. And he will build my city, and I will let my exiles go free without any payment or reward, says the Lord. So, this closes the testimony of Cyrus. Cyrus, you may step down. Next, we'll call Paul to the witness stand.